Alright, so I think we're done with that one. Let's go ahead and move on to something that's actually fairly current, relevant, I guess, if you want to call it. A very
we do that?
obvious. Sometimes we're not ahead of it. We're probably a couple weeks behind, but very obvious new emerging game genre. And it's no surprise if you watch this channel. I just released a video about it recently. The Battle Royale style, specifically talking about like PUBG and like Fortnite, games like that. PUBG's been around long enough that it's funny that so many people feel like it's a brand new game. It just so happened to be on preview, whatever, it's the Xbox One preview, so a lot of people are being exposed to it. It's obviously been in development on the PC forever, and it was off of I think it was an Arma 2 game that became a zombie game. I think it's H1Z1, or I think that's the name of it. And then that morphed into this, because they realized when they did the mod, the idea was do like a zombie simulation, but you could, like, technically you could kill other players if you wanted to. And it ended up being people just killing each other, stealing each other's shit. So they're like, well, people don't seem to care about the zombies, they just want to kill each other, so let's just make a game based on that. And that's how we got PUBG. So with this style, if you're not familiar, quickest synopsis I can give you is you get dropped onto a nondescript island or map with 99 other people. You search for items because you start off with absolutely nothing, and your goal is to survive down to the last player. PUBG is super realistic in that sense, whereas Fortnite is a more polished, finished game, I'd call it. But it's more cartoony, more goofy, and you build shit. I feel like now PUBG and Fortnite channels dominate YouTube, and, you know, back in the Call of Duty boom, when you would see a million channels just sprout up, like Call of Duty gameplay, top 10 Call of Duty plays, now you're seeing that with PUBG and Fortnite all over the place. And I wonder how many more things this is going to spawn and what this is going to turn into as far as a game genre. Because I feel like FPSs are so kind of worn down now because of Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, all that shit, that I think this might become the dominant style. And I would even argue that I wouldn't be shocked if like Call of Duty or Battlefield start trying to like take that and run with it with their style of game, but do a Battle Royale or something like that. So what are your thoughts, Jim?
Well, going to what you just said, I think it would be cool to see what a studio with actual money could do with a genre like this. Because, I mean, we've been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battleground, PUBG, whatever you call it. And, yeah, you know what? It's really fun. It's very rough around the edges, though. And I know it's still, you know, fucking preview stage, but you're selling it for a full price, so it's a game.
It's not full price yet.
Well, yeah, it's what, $30?
I think so. 30 or 20. Yeah, 30 sounds right.
Yeah, but it's a cool concept, and, like, you know, imitation comes from anything that's successful. And it's kind of crazy with PUBG because, like, you had the thing where Call of Duty dominated YouTube, and then, like, League of Legends dominated Twitch. But this is just dominating all of it. Like, everyone's just playing the shit out of this game. And I know Fortnite will probably, you know, if it's good enough, it'll catch fire as well. And it's definitely a fun take on, like, just a different kind of genre. Like, it's surprisingly strategic. It's very intense. You're always on your tippy toes, basically, when you're playing. So it's not the easiest, like, just jump in and dominate kind of series either. Like, you have to put time into it to actually get the grasp of it. So I definitely think there's going to be a ton of copycat games within the next year or two that just try to take the piss out of what they're doing.
For sure. I mean, I was talking with our buddy Chris, who the three of us play PUBG a lot together, and, you know, I took to it like a maggot to shit. Like, I started playing it.
You took to it right away.
Yeah, I was like, you know what, like, I wasn't sure about it if I'd like it, but what I found that I enjoy the most, Jim kind of already touched, the intensity and the, you know, the tension of the game. You land next to someone, who's going to get a gun first, who's going to do this. Like Jim said, not the most polished game. I'm not going to say the gameplay itself is amazing, but the concept and how it plays out, because you always feel like you have a chance because there is so much luck. And I'm sorry, anyone, I don't care what channels post what shit, you can be the best shooter in that game, and someone could just be laying down in a perfect position that you'll never see no matter how much you scan, and you get headshotted and you're out of the game. So there is such a big element of luck. There's an element of, did you find the right shit? Were you able to get here? Did you find a vehicle? And I love that because it keeps everyone honest. It'll humble everyone. No matter, I'm at a point now where I played enough where I get really mad if I don't at least make it to the top 10, whereas before, if I could make it in the top 30, it was like, oh, thank God. Now I'm at a point where I feel like, oh, I should be good enough where I can make it top 10, but still, some games I start, I can't find a weapon to save my life, and I die. So I like that style because it's a really good, easy pick up and play for me. You're not invested in the game in the long run. You're invested into the individual game you get put into, so you can walk away from it right away. Whereas, like Call of Duty, you're gaining experience. You're trying to unlock that next weapon. Like, everything's there for you, so you don't have to really think about the game when you walk away from it like you do other games. So I think that's why this genre is really kicking off, because there's not enough games out there right now that are easy pick up and play. They're all like, oh, get to this cinematic point, get to experience, level your people up, da 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 da. So I think you're going to see this genre continue to dominate. Like you said, I would love to see AAA titles and get goofy with it. Right now guns are going to be the big thing, but honestly, do it with like, I don't know, like knights and samurais and shit, like being somehow dropped off. Just keep expanding it, play around with it. Maybe do it with one with a whole bunch of monsters. I don't care. Just keep this style going, because I do enjoy it, and I want to see some really fun and innovative games. And of course, in 10 years, there'll be a Mario version of this or a Zelda version of this, and it'll be the hottest game of the time.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I mean, one thing going back to PUBG real quick is just a thing that really draws you in, because I didn't take to it as quickly as you did. I'm just starting to now to really be like, man, yeah, I do suck still, because I can't play enough right now, but it does give, God fucking damn it, that laugh. But you get these little moments, damn it. You get these little moments that you're just like, damn it, that was cool. Like, there was one game where, like, me, you, and our buddy Chris played a while back, where we all dropped into the zone, but there was, like, 2 random people around us. So while you're in there looting, me and this other guy are in this open field punching the shit out of each other, trying to kill each other. And I actually won that fight. And of course, like, I got shot like a second later, but it was still just like a funny thing to feel like you can still help a team even if you suck like 7 dicks at a game, while you can distract someone and maybe get a free kill while they're out doing the real heavy work.
Yeah, the game, that's a really good way to put it. And I don't know do you still read your GameSpot things? The magazine. Oh,
the Game Informer?
Game Informer,
it's been a while. The occasional poop read, I'll give it.
Exactly. So they did a thing about it, and the guy pointed out, like, that's what makes this game good is moments. Like, you get a story out of it. Like, I've told, you and Chris about how many times when I do win the chicken dinners, like, there's a crazy story around it, or, like, this or this happened. And, like, you basically end up playing that game for those moments, not for, like, the whole experience, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I don't know. I think
makes no sense to me.
Fortnite is one where that's a nice, already they're showing, like, ways to expand upon the idea of the battle. So I hope they keep doing it. And yeah, it's gonna be, if you're a YouTuber or you're on YouTube, just expect to see that in your suggested videos or up next, because that's the hottest channel right now.
It's everywhere.
All right.